Friends, we are talking about mechanism of respiration. During last video, we have considered the anatomical features, structure of entire this respiratory system. Now, what is the mechanism? Mechanism that we have to talk about. In this video, we will talk about the mechanism. Mechanism of respiration. Now, how the respiratory current is produced, that we have to consider here. Now see, this is lower jaw. This is what? A lower jaw. I will label here lower jaw. And this is called upper jaw. Lower jaw and upper jaw. Therefore, it is gnatostomata. Now what happens? The lower jaw of the mouth depressed down. Depressed down. Suppose this is the mouth region. This is lower jaw. The lower jaw depressed down. Why? Because basihyoid cartilage muscles, they are contracted. These are the muscles of lower jaw. These muscles contract. As a result, lower jaw opens. As cavity is created, obviously the seawater from surrounding environment enters in the mouth cavity. During the same time, opening of esophagus is being closed. Now, whenever water enters through the mouth into buccal cavity, it forced into the region of pharynx. And there is no another way to exit the water because the esophageal opening is closed. The mouth is also being closed because basihyoid cartilage or muscles of it relax. As a result, mouth is being closed. I'll show the position of that. This is what mouth is being closed like this. As mouth is closed completely, the water has only one way to exit out through the gill slits. So therefore, water enters into this internal branchial opening like this. It enters into internal branchial openings and flow through these gill slits, and then it exits out, or then it goes out like this. By this way, it goes out to outside. It exits out to outside. But during the course, it bathes all the gill lamellae. As I told you, gill lamellae are very thin walled, highly vascular. Highly vascular, what does it mean? Means it consisting of blood capillaries, minute blood capillaries. And therefore, whenever water goes by this way and it bathes the gill lamellae on both sides, the oxygen from the seawater enters into blood because gill lamellae are very thin walled, and carbon dioxide from the blood present in the gill lamellae, it is given out in the existing water or water which goes out. Now this is how it happens. The question may arise in your mind, how it happens. It happens due to, suppose if you consider this is as a gill lamella, and in this gill lamella, and these are the gill lamellae like this, gill lamellae which are thin walled by this way. Now there is more amount of oxygen in the seawater. Oxygen is moved in the seawater, and therefore is more in the sense as compared to the blood present in the gill lamellae. So therefore, there is low concentration of the oxygen inside the gill lamellae, and hence this oxygen diffuses by osmosis from higher concentration. This is higher concentration, and therefore it diffuses into gill lamellae towards lower concentration. At the same time, Carbon dioxide is more due to metabolic processes in the blood present in the gill lamellae, and therefore this carbon dioxide is in more amount in the blood of gill lamellae as compared to the seawater. Seawater has very less amount of carbon dioxide as compared to the carbon dioxide present in the blood of gill lamellae, and hence it also diffuses from the blood to surrounding area. Thus, by a exosmosis, carbon dioxide is given out, and by endosmosis, from higher to lower concentration, oxygen is taken inside. Now, this process is facilitated by reverse flow of water and a blood, like this. Reverse flow. Remember it very well. Reverse flow. What does it mean? It means that water flows by this way, in this way, and it then exits out. Water flow by this way and then it exits out. While the blood inside the capillaries of gill lamellae flow in reverse way, by this way. So this is the way of blood, flowing of blood, and this is the way of flowing of water. So they are exactly reversed to one another. Suppose water is flowing by this way and blood is flowing by this way, and hence they come more time in contact with the water, come in more time in contact with the blood of gill lamellae, and hence more amount of oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out, because fishes require more amount of oxygen for oxidation of food. They require oxidation of food or for metabolism, so as to create the energy, because they have to swim continuously in the water, require more energy, therefore they take more food, they require more oxygen, and by the reverse way, this is what the reverse way, the water is flowing by this way and blood is flowing by this way. The water and blood of gill lamellae come in more contact, for more time in contact with one another. As a result, this exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen is greatly enhanced. If you have any doubt regarding this mechanism of respiration, you may freely ask. If you like the videos, you write there, "Sir, I like your lecture. Sir, I understand your lecture." Without that, how I can judge whatever I am talking with you is correct or wrong? I will simplify the matter again. I will repeat the matter again, but without your opinion, I can't do anything. This is very pandemic condition, dear friends. Therefore, take care and share with me.